Welcome to AamirzTwoCents. In this video, we are going to talk about monthly expenses of a student, or let's say a person on a H1 work visa or J1 visa, how much they will be spending on monthly basis. So I'm not considering the university fee or insurance here because that's a separate expense, and you know that already, like how much, because it depends upon the school where you're going and all that. But I'm going to consider some of the other things. Okay, so very first thing, if you are on J1 visa, H1 visa, or F1 visa, whatever the visa you're in, or newly immigrant to United States, you have to have a place to live. Okay, so living place, I already have made a video how you can find a affordable place to live in America, and most of the time I will consider, if I'm a student or on J1 or on H1B, I will consider sharing a room. Okay, so if I will go ahead and want to rent my own apartment, that's going to be very costly, even in consider in New Jersey. So if a 3-bedroom apartment somebody is renting, he will be paying like $1,800 or $2,000 per month. Now, if you will go for single bedroom apartment in New Jersey, it's going to be $1,100 or $1,200. So that's very expensive as well, especially for the F1 or J1 or H1B people who just came to America for work or study. So now I will suggest, let's say, if you have rented an apartment by yourself, or maybe you want to share with somebody, and if it is 3-bedroom apartment, most of the time 6 people live there. In America, you have the rooms are separate, and then you have a living area where people, even one guy even sleep in the living area because nobody cares. People go work all day long, go to university and come back. So considering the room rent or per person, I'm considering between $350 to $500 anywhere you live in America. So even you can live in LA, but if you are living with shared, maybe 2 people sharing one room, in 3-bedroom apartment or house, you are living, or New York, if you are living in Charlotte where I live, houses are, or apartments are way cheaper. So in a $900 you can have 2-bedroom apartment. If 4 people lives there, you can think like you will save a lot of money on that way. Okay, so I have put on average $400, and that again it depends upon your situation, where you want to live alone in the room, or you want to share with somebody, or you can in a small town you can really have a good deal on one room, like $500 to $500 a month, and you will have your own bedroom separate, so you don't have to worry about that. But in big cities, it's a little hard to have your own room in $400, so it consider $600 to $700 if you want to have your own room in big city. Now I have took as an average 400. Next is phone bill. So phone bill, it also depend upon, like, okay, you want unlimited data, you want Verizon, you want AT&T, so different services, and there are tons of mobile companies are available, so you can use one of them. I have put $30 to $50, and I'm putting a high end like $50 because as a student, you need data plan as well. You can always compromise on it and go to places in the university where Wi-Fi is free and use it in library and all those kind of things. But I will just put it 50 because anywhere you're going, navigation, you need to use your phone, and you don't have one in, like, oh, my phone I don't have enough data and all those kind of things. And you need to communicate back home with parents, with family and friends. So $50 I have put for per month. Wi-Fi. So you're living in a shared apartment, and that's where you are going to share the Wi-Fi expense. So think about that. Wi-Fi can be, it again depends on the download and upload speed. And if there are 3 people, they might be paying $50 to $60 per month, and I'm considering $20 for you for that one. As you will be sharing an apartment or house with other people, and I'm considering that, like, okay, you will be like 3 to 4 people living, and your electricity bill can also vary. So now if it is a summer, you're going to use a lot of air conditioning, and again it depends where which state or which city you live in. Maybe summer is not that bad, and winter is maybe really worse. So depends. You are having some electricity that you will be using, your all the laptops, lights and everything. So this can be around $120 to $150 per month in case of summer and all that. Rest of that in winter is not going to be that big deal. So that can be like between $60 to $70 a month for electricity. And if you guys cook a lot, and especially if you are a student, you will be cooking your food. That's can be another expense. So for electricity, I put like $120 divided into 3 people, and your bill is like $40. Consider if you are 4 people, consider $30. So between it can be between $25 to $40 if you are living with 3 people or 4 people, depends, and if it gas is another thing, like if you are cooking food at home, all of you guys are cooking together or whatever, so that can be another expense. So I will consider only $10 for that one, because it's not that gas is not expensive here for so for but if it is winter and you're using a furnace to heat the house at night and all those kind of things, then it can be a little pricey, so consider another $10 to $15 extra every month for that in winter. Okay, so with all these numbers, 400 for the rent, phone bill $50, $20 for the Wi-Fi, electricity for 40, and $10 for your gas, it comes to $520. So that's what you will be paying. I will consider $500 for your renting a place and all the bills, normally what you pay here. Next part is the food. So food is not expensive here. I mean, maybe when I say it's not expensive, maybe it is expensive for some of the people, and maybe for some people it's like, oh, it's very cheap, But let's go ahead and talk about it. So if I asked one of my teacher, I asked him when I was student, like how much money you spend on your food when you are student, and he said that I only spend $20 a month, and I was surprised when he said that. He said that like what I need rice, and that's carbs, and then I need protein, and I use a lot of beans. So rice and beans are very cheap here in America, and he said that I just go and cook and eat that all month, So but, I mean, to live a life, yes, he was right. I mean, you need a lot of protein, you need some milk. Milk is cheap here and all those kind of things. But I'm putting a lot more other things, so you can kind of have some variety. So let's say the milk is in a gallon, and it's pretty big gallon. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that gallon, how much milk is that, and so this is the big gallon, and you would not believe the total cost for this whole big gallon is around $2. Sometimes it's $1.99, sometimes it's $2.39, and all that. So it depends, at different time, different rates, but most of the time it's between $2 to $2.50. So this gallon can last a person for a whole week if you will drink a one normal glass of milk every day. So sometimes we drink more, so I have put okay, $10 for the milk for a month. And then you have flour that a lot of people cook tortilla. There are cooked tortilla as well. I'm never good at making those chapati, roti, pulka by myself, so I always buy. And they're also not expensive. You get a pack of 10 of them in like $3-4, and you can use 2 at a time. Rice is very they are not expensive. In $10 you get a bag of 20 pounds. Depends again, if you are getting really high quality basmati rice, that can be for a 20-pound bag, it can be for like $21 or something like that. So I have put $10 for rice. You need cooking oil. In $5 you get a nice decent size of cooking oil bottle that you can cook pretty much for a whole month. I'm not talking like you're using a lot of oil, then you can double it. Fruits are very cheap here. They're not expensive if you see as in dollar amount. Like let's say apple 99 cents per lb. You have banana in 49 cents per lb. You have pretty much every fruit is a lot of fruits are actually, I will say, is less than $1 per pound. So you can get a variety of foods, and I always, when I was student, I always get the food which is not expensive. So I get doesn't matter, like okay, oranges are, if the oranges are $3 a bag and the apples are $2, I'm gonna go for apple, and that week and next week I will look for oranges, because when you're a student you don't have a whole lot of money. Okay. Now vegetables are also not that expensive, and if you cook a lot of vegetables, you're gonna have like maybe buy some vegetables 4 or 5 times in maybe 6 times in a month, and cook, and then you cook beans, and you cook some chicken and all that. So for fruits I have put $40 a month. That's really good price, and I can tell you, like if I will be living by myself now, I spend like $40-50 for myself on the fruit. Okay, vegetables vegetables, I put another $40. Bread, so there are different types of bread. Normal bread with the big this big that can last you for like more than a week, that's 99 cents, $1.09, very cheap, you know, on that bread. So I have put $4 for that one. And then peanut butter, you want to use some jelly on top of it, and all that. The big bottle like this, that can last you for like a week or 2 weeks. That can be like $3-4 as well. Jelly is like $2-3. Those bottles like grapes jelly, or you know, or orange and all that. Eggs, a lot of good protein, 99 cents a dozen. You can get like a really, you know, if you want to get 2.5 dozen or 18, so that's also cheap. So I put $4 to $5 per month, because if I eat even 2 eggs a day in morning for breakfast with my bread, I will be pretty set for till lunch, you know, and then in evening I can use that too. So you can use maybe 6 to 8 dozen. So I'm going to go ahead and put $8 for that. Okay, now chicken, if a lot of people eat chicken or beef and all that, that's also not that expensive here in America. Sometime even you find like a 79 cents per pound chicken at places like Walmart and Food Line. Sometime you find a chicken $1.10, $1.20. I mean, if you go organic, that's everything is going to be expensive. So, but in normal food, you know, it's not expensive. So chicken, beef, the same way. I'm telling you, like, okay, again, you want a high quality beef or you want a high quality organic chicken, that's $6 per pound, $5 per pound. But if you want to just buy, you know, normal, what everybody pretty much like 95% people eat here, so that isn't going to be like consider less than $2 a pound. You can get chicken and beef pretty much at the same rate. Now if you will go with the goat meat, that's going to be very expensive, because that's like $7 to $9 per pound. Lamb or goat, that's expensive meat here in America. I put all those together for the plans, and it came up $125. So consider $150, you know, or $100. If you will share with the friends that you're cooking at the same time, I mean, then you are using the same oil, you are using less flour, less things and all that. So depends. If you eat by yourself, fine. I mean, $100 to $150, that's what it is going to happen. One of the other big expensive can be that is a car. If you have a car, because if you don't live in a right apartment right next to the your university, then you might have to have a car, because you live a little far, or you have to use the bus and all that, so you have to commute. So that expense can add up too. Now, if you need a car, having a car is not a big deal. Let's say in $3,000, if you have friends, they can put $1,000 each of you guys put 3 people and buy a car, for a very nice car in $3,000 to $4,000. And gas is very cheap. So it's a gallon of a gas, like same like a milk gallon I showed you. 1 gallon is a $2.50. 40 cents to $1.30, depends on the different time, you know. So, but I am seeing it's less than $2.50, you know, most of the time in 2019. Okay, so you can in 1 gallon of a gas, a normal car can do like 20 miles, 25 miles. So you can think of that, you know, like you spend like maybe $3 a whole day if you are using it in school, going back and forth to your house wherever you live. If it is a less than 25 miles, you know, round commute. So the last thing comes in the car. If you have a car, you have to buy insurance. So that's by law, you have to buy insurance, and that can. For me, I have 2 cars and I pay $700 and for 2 cars. But when you are young, and they actually charge you more for car insurance and all that. So consider, I will say, consider $50 per month for the car. So we end up. And I did not add anything eating outside, because when I was student, I remember only when I was student, I barely have eaten like 2 or 3 times outside. But if you want to eat outside, I mean, it's all right. It's not a big deal. The total expense eating outside depends on the restaurant, right? So if you go a normal restaurant, you know, it can be between $10 to $15, you know. So if you want to go with the friends and hang out and just chill and eat that, food is going to be between $10 to $15 or so. Okay, but if you go really good restaurants in New York somewhere, that can cost you between $25 to $40, so depends on which place and where you live and where you go. Okay, so $520 for our living, renting a place, another 125 or $130 for food, so that's 650, and then we added $50 for car insurance. So 650 plus 50 makes $700. So you can, if you eat outside and all that, like 10 times in a month, and another $100, $800. So you will be spending between $600 to $800 if you live a normal life, like yeah. So I will say sometimes you live a cheap life, so that's what you will spend. You are living in a shared location with shared people and all that, but if you don't want to live, you want to live alone, that's going to be expensive. As I told you, renting an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment or 1-bedroom apartment is even very expensive, So sharing, I will go with sharing, and this is what you will spend. So ask me any question if you have, in the comments, and let's. I will try my best to help you out, whatever I know, and other people can help as well. Thanks very much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you like my effort to educate you guys.